So I'm going to talk quickly about AI. So there's three ingredients that make AI. This is kind of me learning from my machine learning people in Waterloo. So to build AI, you need three things. You need compute, things like chips and data centers. You need algorithms. These are things like the transformer model and RLHF, which is like using humans to improve AI. And you need data. And data, there's kind of three types of data for AI that I classify them as. There's open data, which is just data on the internet that is open and anyone can use to train. In fact, most models today have trained all of it. So 100% of the internet's data has now been consumed by these AI models. But that's just a small part of all the data in the world, because I'll give you an example. There's a stat I heard recently, which was interesting, that JP Morgan has 120 petabytes of data on their on-prem servers. And guess how much it took to train ChatGPT-4? How much data did it take to train ChatGPT-4? And then JP Morgan has 120 petabytes. Guess how much data it took to train ChatGPT-4? Any guesses? One petabyte. So JP Morgan has 120 times more data than it took to train ChatGPT-4. And anyway, so what's interesting is the third category of AI data. So there's kind of open data, and then there's enterprise data, which is even bigger. What's up, Neil? And then the third biggest category is human data. So this is called frontier data that doesn't exist yet. This is data like taking the neurons we have in our brain and our reasoning we have in our brain and using it to train the next generation of AI models. So that's the third biggest category. Open web is little, enterprise is much bigger, and the third one's even bigger, which is human training data. All right, so human data, guys, if you're with me. Humans label data. It's called RLHF. It's called fine tuning. There's companies like Scale AI. They're some of the biggest AI startups in the world. They have $1 billion in revenue and $13 billion valuation. And the way data is labeled today is in these huge centralized facilities in the Philippines. So humans are critical for AI because they make it faster, they make it better. And the more humans you have in a data set, the better the model's going to perform. If you want your model to be a high benchmark against your competitor, you need a lot of humans in it. The reason OpenAI won the early AI wars is because they were the first ones to have industrial scale RLHF, having millions and millions of humans in a data set. So it's the fastest growing segment, AI data, of all of AI by far, because that's the bottleneck now. It's not chips, it's not the bottleneck, it's not compute, it's not algorithms, it's data. So that's your biggest competitive advantage if you're a data provider, is your data. And so the fastest growing segment by revenue is data now. The LLMs spend about $1 billion per year each on it, on human data labeling. This is what data labeling looks like. So there's like millions of humans around the world that do this for a living. It's like taking a data set and like organizing it, classifying it, annotating it. You can do it to images on bounding box, or you can do it on text-based classifiers. There's lots of different types of data modalities. There's video, audio, text, etc. And this is how it's done today. So the vast majority of enterprise data is labeled in these huge facilities in the middle of the Philippines, and they get paid like $1 or $2 an hour. So this is currently how data is structured in the world. You don't talk about it because the big tech kind of hyperscalers don't want you to know how the sausage is made. But there's lots of people in these facilities doing it. So yeah, Sapien, we're kind of decentralizing that whole process. So just like Scale AI, it's centralized. We're trying to be the decentralized version of that. So anybody can label data, kind of like as a form of gig work. You can do it from your phone. You can do it at a bus stop instead of playing Candy Crush. And we want to like empower people for the first time ever to be able to make a living wage without needing any skills, without needing any assets. Like you don't need a car to drive an Uber. All you need is to literally be human, and you can make a living wage on an Android phone. So we're excited about that. So we're kind of, Sapien is a two-sided marketplace. We help companies that want structured data from humans get it cheaply, so they come to our platform. You guys can actually pull out your phone. We have a live demo. It's called game.sapien.io. You gotta check it out. Game, G-A-M-E.sapien, S-A-P-I-E-N.io. So you can label data for money. It's just like you can make a little bit of money while you're waiting. So you guys are the supply side, the enterprise is the demand side. And like I said, it's kind of a new way for anyone to earn money anywhere, anytime. But if you have skills, this is what's interesting. If you're just a human, you can make $5 an hour, just with no skills. But if you have skills, you can make an order of magnitude more than that. So if you're a radiologist, you can label MRI data, and you can make hundreds of dollars an hour. And so it's kind of like the base minimum if you have no skills, just to like, this is a stop sign, this is a baby. That's like low skill labeling. But the next trend is towards more specialized human labelings, because these models are demanding experts' knowledge to be consumed. So if you have a skill, you can, on Sapien, you can earn money anytime, anywhere, but more money because you have skills. This is a demo of a real customer we have. So this is a modeling company, like human models. And you're labeling data to help train the model to predict fashion trends. So it's actually super fun. You can make money by labeling data like this, and all you do is have to be human and follow the instructions. So this is the future of data labeling. It's like on your phone, it's mobile, it's fun, it's immersive, it's expressive, and we actually get paid and pay you to label this company's data in a decentralized way. Yeah, we want to like bring it to everybody everywhere, cross-platform. We're building a Telegram app. You see the app on your phone right now on game.sapien.io. So you can check that out as well. We're kind of trying to be like the Axie Infinity for real AI work. So we're kind of going after those play to earn, train to earn people. We have partnerships with companies like YGG, who have millions of guild members. And we now have like 71 countries represented by our labelers. And that's important because the more diversity you have, the higher quality your data becomes. Because diversity is quality. You can't have the same homogenous group of people label data, or you're going to have kind of slanted and biased results at the end of the day. The Web3 integrations are quality assurance. We use staking, which is a novel way to improve accuracy, where labelers have the option to stake the token while they're labeling, so they have an incentive to behave. If they start Sybil attacking the network, in other words, like trying to cheat, they'll get slashed. And we have like automated algorithms that detect if people are labeling genuinely or not. We're building a standard. I know the guy who started ERC20. We actually built a standard together called ERC 1400 back in the day. So he created the 6 functions that make up ERC20. And it turns out like AI data also really needs a standard, just like Ethereum did back in the day. So we're working on a standard now where any type of data set can interoperate with other projects in the decentralized AI space. Think of it like a supply chain. When you have AI data, it starts out as raw data, and then it becomes structured data. So it's like oil, right? It starts out as raw crude oil, and then you can't just put it in your car. You have to structure it, you have to refine that oil before it's gasoline. So it's just like that with AI data. It starts out as raw data, and then it becomes structured data, and then you can train it. And after you train it, you can run inference on it. Yeah, we did a little, we're under a year old. We did a seed round led by Variant. They're a great fund out of New York. We've raised about 10 million so far. And we have customers already on the demand side, like Alibaba, like Baidu. We have a really fun project for a Chinese education company. They're actually the biggest one in all of Asia. And they're building a math GPT model to help tutor their students. And they hired us to label math data. So we had to hire Mandarin-speaking mathematicians to label the data. So that's a really good example of like high-paid specialized data labeling work. Yeah, so that's we just hired a guy. He's supposed to be here from Base. He started Base with Jesse Polak. So like the L2 that Coinbase launched that's taking over the world. He was the co-founder. So he left and he just joined us as well. And the rest of our team is actually here in the back room. So we'd love to just chat and collaborate, especially if you have a Web3 kind of decentralized AI project. Thank you. Thanks, guys.